Hello folks, my name is Brady and we are back with another BuzzFeed quiz. I know you guys can't get enough of the BuzzFeed. Every time I make a BuzzFeed video, you're just like, Brady, we need more of these. You need to suckle on the BuzzFeed teat a little bit more often because we're hungry for this content. I understand. There's other stuff I have to do on this channel, so every once in a while it has to wait, but I understand that BuzzFeed is without a doubt your favorite website, and I respect that, and we'll try to get back to it periodically. Today, we're going to be doing a quiz that I teased that I might do in the previous video. Since it's Pride Month, I thought it would be a fun time to do it. If there was any time to do it, sure, let's do something a little bit thematic. Let's see if you can get 10 out of 10 on this LGBTQIA plus quiz. Created by GEICO. Okay. Imagine they sneak in like a hacky sponsored like question there, like, where can asexual people save something percent or more on their car insurance? Oh God, I wish advertisements were more tongue-in-cheek than they are. Like, if you're gonna do this, just go all the way with it. Don't convince me that you're some sort of hip with the kids type. Just sneak advertising into every single question. But enough about that. As far as the LGBTQIA plus community goes, I have been a supporter since I was in like 6th grade, maybe, when I became a little bit more aware of that. I think that's around when I was getting politically awakened, though I was still a fool. It was one of my first issues that I took interest in, which was kind of odd at the time. I wasn't sure what appealed to me. These days, I see myself as a little bit closer to the B. I think what you would call me is bi-curious. So, like, leaning hetero, but, you know, there's a little room there. I heard that term from South Park. I don't even know if it's, like, a widely accepted term or not. If there's a better term, let me know. But I think that's about where I fall on the spectrum. I don't know if that actually gives me any sort of advantage here. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is actual, like, movement-related stuff, but we'll see how that ends up going. I'm actually pretty excited about this. So the first question is, what does the red stripe on the rainbow pride flag stand for? Ooh, you know me and how much I love flags, but I have no idea what this is. I think I know which ones it's not. I don't think it actually means lesbian. I think they want to trick you there because they have the rainbow flag in their thing and all these letters, and it's like, wait, does each color stand for a letter? No, I mean, yeah, but maybe that's what they want you to be thinking there, but that's not the case. I don't think it's laughter. I'm almost positive it's not laughter. So it's love or life. I'm going to assume it's love, but I guess I never questioned what the rainbow stood for. What? It's life? I mean, fine, but, like, yeah, that's one of the questions I never really asked for. I just thought, oh, it's a rainbow. Rainbows are beautiful, and, like, who doesn't love rainbows? So let's use a rainbow, but apparently means life instead of love. Okay. Which state has been offering a gender-neutral option for state IDs since 2010? This is interesting. So we have Arkansas. I don't know much about Arkansas. But then we have Oregon, California, and New York. I could see it happening. Maybe it is. It's going to be Arkansas, and it's going to, like, surprise me here. Which, maybe. It seems like a weird inclusion here. So why would they include it if it was wrong? There are some of these that it feels like they might be trying to trick me. We got happy, hippie, liberal California or whatever. Of course they want me to think that. New York's also a relatively liberal place. And then there's Oregon as well. I don't know where Arkansas falls these days. But I'm looking at those other three right now, since I really have no idea what to work with that first one. They're all relatively liberal between these three that I'm between, but they kind of give me different feels. This seems like an issue that would be taken on aggressively in Oregon for some reason. I don't know. There is I don't know. It just feels like they might lead on that. Damn it! It was Arkansas. It was the odd one out, the one that I didn't know that much about. Oregon, was the second state. Okay, so it isn't. It is an Oregon thing, but Arkansas beat them to it. Okay. I don't feel too bad about that. So it's going to give me little bits at the bottom. I hope I don't get all of these wrong. This is an issue I care about, but like these are... I've never been good at trivia, I suppose. Which U.S. LGBTQIA plus choral group was the first to include gay in their name? I don't know anything about choruses. Okay, so we have places, though. We got New York, we've got Los Angeles, we've got San Francisco, we've got Washington, D.C. I don't think it's Washington, D.C., but I also didn't think it was Arkansas last time. The Washington, D.C. one feels like it stands out the most here. It feels like San Francisco would be a little too easy. That is quite the liberal haven. It's also a very artsy place, but I guess I could say the same thing about New York City and Los Angeles. Like, we've got some artsy places here. So I'm kind of going with my gut here. I always have these moments where I'm about to go with my gut and then I switch it and then I feel bad about that. So I'm going to try to actually go with my gut for this quiz. Thank you. I finally got one right. Okay, so at best I can get 80% at this stage. Let's hope. True or false? Asexuality is the same as celibacy. Well, I'd imagine like in a Venn diagram, there's some similarities in like that little middle piece, but no, it's not the same. I believe asexuality is kind of a spectrum, and I think celibacy can occur regardless of sexual orientation. Like, it just because you don't have sex doesn't mean like you're I don't know, these things are hard for me to communicate. I usually go to Bird Mom for this stuff because she's better with the terminology. I've actually asked her recently a lot of questions about the LGBTQIA acronym. So I'm going to finish this question before I finish talking about that. So it's false, right? It's not the same. Yeah. What do they say? Asexual people do not feel sexual attraction towards others, but that does not mean they are celibate. Celibacy is a choice, while asexuality is not. There we go. Recently I was asking questions about the acronym because like it's gotten longer since I got into the game. I was asking her about the Q term, and I was like, is queer an all-encompassing term? And like, what makes it different from plus? And Bird Mom is always so good about it and tries to do the best to make sure I understand that stuff. Because some people have some hang-ups about the term queer, and some people also fall under a lot of these other categories but wouldn't consider themselves queer. So queer is not necessarily an all-encompassing term for everyone, while the plus kind of covers anything that might be left out, which that was something that was confusing for a second. I felt a little discouraged about asking because I didn't want to feel ignorant, but you know, I always encourage people to ask questions even if they feel stupid, or at least Google it. I decided to ask a question instead of Googling it. The first transgender state senator was elected in what year? This was very recent, wasn't it? It's either 2020 or 2018. I'm pretty sure this was 2020. Yeah. Sarah McBride. I remember hearing this story not that long ago. I wasn't sure if it was that or 2018 because the pandemic has thrown off my perception of time a little bit. Like, I feel like I genuinely lost a whole lot of time, like, mentally, and that's all weird. So in my head, it could have been 2018, but I had a feeling it was 2020. So I'm doing okay. I can still get that 80. If I get 70, I believe that's still a C, which I'll take. Oh no. Approximately how many people attended World Pride in New York City in 2019? That's a good question. I have no idea. My state, I am in the smallest state in the union, and we have about 1 million people. So minimum, they double my state's size for the people who attend this. The fact that and I'm doing test-taking stuff here rather than actually trying to reason this out in any sort of real world way. They give me 5 and 2, and I'm assuming those are like highs and lows, just to kind of have highs and lows here, but it probably falls somewhere in the middle. I'm going to guess 3 million, but if not, I would say it's 4 million. If not, I would say it's 2 million. Damn it, it was the last one I was going to pick. That's a lot. The fact that I know New York City is packed or whatever, but the fact that they can pack in that many people is kind of amazing to me. They must make bank. I know it's weird that I jumped to like economics there, but they must make bank during World Pride. What is the date of International Transgender Day of Visibility? I don't go on Facebook enough. A lot of these National Blank Day, a lot of these things are things I would probably know by going on Facebook, because that's like the only place where people really talk about National this day. Like with months, they'll have like Black History Month or Pride Month. We're in it. But a lot of like these individual days, like I don't catch unless I go on Facebook, but I feel like it was in March. It's either March 2nd or 31st. I think it was 31st. Cool. We're doing okay so far. I just can't afford to get any more wrong or I'll feel kind of bad about the whole thing. At least they're giving me the answers, so I'll have them later. What year was National Coming Out Day founded? Is that like a recognized day? This is another thing, like I feel like it'd be something I would find on Facebook. So I'm trying to think of like the gay rights movement and how it evolved. So in '69 was Stonewall. And then we have a good amount of time, well over a decade for the earliest period. So there's nothing really I can tie that to. I feel like I want to do like the latest one. Like I have very little, the 90s also feels like a terrible time to be gay. I think of all that was going on in pop culture in 1990, but I don't know, maybe it was worse before. It feels like people got especially malicious in the 90s, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I just consume more pop culture for the 90s. I'm going to just put it up in the air and say 1988. That feels like a very specific year. Doing 5s and 0s, okay, you throw in a 5 and a 0. It feels like it's something more specific. Yeah! Something, yeah. Okay. I don't know. Test taking skills for the win. Okay. True or false, the first known LGBTQIA plus astronaut in space was also the first U.S. woman in space. I think I heard this story. I think it's true. Yeah, that feels like it's kind of a leading question, and it would be disappointing if it was false. It would be like, nope, they weren't. I don't know. It's kind of one of those questions, like, it's so, like, why would you include that question if it wasn't true? This is a quiz that's both there to be fun, but also to educate, I assume. And they want to tell you about the first LGBTQIA plus astronaut in space. What year was the Supreme Court decision that granted same-sex couples the right to marriage in the U.S.? Easy, 2015. Way later than it should have been. I scored better than 96% of all quiz takers. Okay, that's fine, BuzzFeed. I mean, GEICO. This time it's me versus GEICO. When it comes to BuzzFeed, you know what I noticed here? Normally at the bottom, when you finish the quiz, they'll tell you, like, a little thing, like, you think this or this in relation to this, or you're pretty good at this, or they'll give you some sort of, like, a mini paragraph telling you, like, how your score plays out. They left that out on this one. Maybe they don't want to be like, you ignorant idiot, you need to know more. Maybe they don't want to come off as preachy. I don't know if GEICO actually wrote this quiz, or if they just have their name on it. But it's a paid post. I don't know how any of that works. I don't know anything about networking. That was interesting. That was so which ones did I get wrong? The color on the flag, I'm not surprised about. I'm kicking myself over this Arkansas one. It seemed too out of place. I should have gone for it because it seemed like, why would they include Arkansas of all places if it wasn't that? Sometimes you got to think about quizzes like that, and I failed there. What was the other one I got wrong? Oh yeah, the number of people who attended World Pride, way above my expectations. It's kind of awesome. I wonder how that. I don't know much. I don't go outside, let alone to massive gatherings. Though New York is not that far off in the grand scheme of things. I can make a day trip to New York. All right, so that was fun. So I enjoyed this one. I think, as kind of an extension of this, and to continue the theme, I'm going to do this other quiz that I have pulled up. Good luck passing this test if you aren't gay. I'm going to do this quiz for the membership. So if you are a channel member, keep your eye out. I'm going to be having this one out in the near future. And if you want to become a channel member, I'm trying to do some bonus videos and stuff like that, if you guys are interested in that sort of thing. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Or in the members video if it comes out the same day. We'll see. All right.